What's up, everybody? This is Danny Mathematics here with another example to explore, right? And today, guys, we want to go over example 8 of how to add, subtract, multiply, and simplify polynomials, okay? So we have this particular expression of parentheses 6 plus 9x to the 4th power minus 4x, parentheses close, minus 5 times 6 plus 10x minus 2x to the 4th power, okay? So in this particular problem, guys, we're going to distribute first, right? And then after we distribute, we're going to combine like terms and then simplify the whole expression, okay? So remember, guys, just like the other examples, always look to see if there's a number that's attached on the outside of the parentheses. So I'm gonna start off with the first parentheses. I don't see a number that's attached on the outside, so that number is automatically a positive 1. And anything times 1 equals itself, okay? So that means that everything inside of here is going to stay the same, right? Because I'm multiplying everything by a positive 1. So I'm just going to just write same, and I'm just going to write everything inside the first parentheses the same as it is. All right? So let me do that right now. Okay? So once again, 1 times 6 is 6. Plus 1 times 9x to the 4th power is still 9x to the 4th power. Okay, and then 1 times negative 4x is negative 4x, or minus 4x. Okay, now it's time to go to the second parentheses. And if I notice, guys, if you notice, there's an actual number or value that's attached on the outside, which is negative 5. Negative 5, okay? So I'm going to multiply everything inside the second parentheses by this negative 5. So negative 5 times 6 is actually negative 30. Okay? So yes, negative 5 times 6 is actually negative 30. Negative 5 times 10x is actually negative 50x. So that's going to be a minus 50x. Okay, and then last but not least, negative 5 times negative 2x to the 4th power is going to be a positive 10x to the 4th power. All right, because negative 5 times negative 2 is a positive 10. So that's going to be 10x to the 4th power. Okay, now what we need to do now, guys, we have successfully distributed, right? Now what we need to do is combine like terms. So now we're going to combine like terms. All right, we're going to combine like terms, and I'm going to pay attention to the variables. The only variable that I see is x, and the highest degree of x is to the 4th power. And then the second highest degree that I see is just x to the 1st power. And then outside of that, I do see constants or numbers, right? So I'm just going to put the pound sign representing just numbers, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine all of these groups, all of the values that represent each group. Okay, so let's try x to the 4th power. I see 9x to the 4th power, and I also see 10x to the 4th power. 9 plus 10 is 19, so combining those will turn into 19x to the 4th power. So that's actually 19x to the 4th power, okay? Now, the next one that we got, guys, is this x to the 1st power, okay? X to the 1st power. So let's find out all of the values where x is this x to the 1st power. All right, I have a negative 4x, and I have a negative 50x, right? Negative 4 plus negative 50 is actually a negative 54. So that's going to actually be minus 54 x. Okay? So I can cross those two out because I'm done with those, and I'm done with that group. And then the last group that I'm combining, guys, are just the regular numbers, right? That are not attached to an x or a variable, which is 6, I'm gonna put a star underneath, and a negative 30. 6 minus 30 is actually a negative 24. So I'm gonna write minus 24. And then once again, guys, because x is to different degrees and this is not attached to an x, I cannot combine these terms, right? So this is the most simplified version of the expression that I can create, okay? Which is 19x to the 4th power minus 54x minus 24, okay? The same thing with example 9. Let's do example 9. If you notice, guys, in front of the first parentheses, there's no number, so that number is automatically a positive 1, meaning that if I multiply all the values within that parentheses by a positive 1, they will stay the same, okay? So everything inside the first parentheses will come down the same because I multiplied by a positive 1. So I still have x to the 3rd power plus 2x to the 2nd power plus 10x. Okay, now I'm done with this parentheses. Now it says minus 2 times the next parentheses, right? So everything that's within the next parentheses or the second parentheses, I'm gonna have to multiply everything by this negative 2. By this negative 2. So now let's do that. Negative 2 times 9. X is a negative 18x or minus 18x. So I'm gonna write that. Minus 18x. Okay. Negative 2 times a negative 10x to the 3rd power is a positive 20x to the 3rd power. Because negative 2 times negative 10 is a positive 20. So that's 20x to the 3rd power. And then last but not least, I'm going to multiply negative 2 with negative 8x squared. Negative 2 times negative 8 is a positive 16. So that's going to be a plus 16x squared. Okay? So now this is what I have as the expression. Now we're down to the last and final step, which is combining all like terms, which actually simplifies the whole expression. So now we're going to combine like terms. Okay, I'm looking at the variable. The only variable that I see is this x. So it's going to be x to the 3rd power as the highest degree. The next highest degree that I see is x to the 2nd power. I also see an x to the 1st power, and I don't see any constants. So these are the 3 groups that I need to combine the like terms, okay? So let's start off with x to the 3rd power. I have 1x to the 3rd power, and I have 20x to the 3rd power. 1 plus 20 is 21, so that will equate to 21x to the 3rd power. Okay, so I'm done with this one. All right, the next one is x to the 2nd power. X to the 2nd power. Let's combine those particular terms. I see 2x to the 2nd power, a positive 2x to the 2nd power, and I also see a positive 16x to the 2nd power. 2 plus 16 is 18. So if I combine those, that's going to be 18x to the 2nd power. Okay. And then the last but not least, guys, is just x to the 1st power, or just x. And it's going to be these last 2 values, which is 10x minus 18x. 10 minus 18 is a negative 8. So that's going to be a negative 8x, or minus 8x. Okay? So this is the most simplified version of our expression, which is 21x to the 3rd power plus 18x to the 2nd power minus 8x. Okay, and then that right there will be our final answer. Just want to make sure everything is right. Yep, that will be our final answer, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I will upload more videos later in the week.